Hi, I'm Aisha. I'm part of the Tech for Social Impact team with Microsoft. I have the honor to work with partners, with marketing teams, with sellers, with nonprofits such as yours in driving Microsoft Cloud adoption for nonprofits. So that's a big part of my job. In case you're wondering what modern work in my title means, it stands for everything Microsoft 365. So think about productivity apps, collaboration apps that you use in your day-to-day work, Word, Outlook, Teams, PowerPoint, and now Copilot and Copilot for M365, something that I'll be talking about in our presentation today. We also are here joined by Adnan and Melissa. They are from our partners Forward. They'll be doing a demo on the future of case management based on their AI-powered platform called Sim. So we have two topics going on here. So let's get started. So when we talk about AI capabilities in the Microsoft Cloud, it is across the Microsoft stack. And I think about it in two ways. There are built-in AI capabilities that you can pick up off the shelf and start using right away. And there are intelligent apps and services that you can build using Azure OpenAI. So the sky's the limit of what you can do with AI within the Microsoft stack. And what I'm going to be focused on and talking about today is the modern work, or the Microsoft 365 side of the house, and thinking about productivity and collaboration tools and AI capabilities infused in those, and how it can help nonprofits such as yours. And I know there are people of varying degrees of experiences with AI in this room. So what I'll start with is something more foundational in how we think about Gen AI. At this point, we would have all seen ChatGPT or experienced it in some form or the other, been wowed by its conversational capabilities, used it to write a birthday poem, used it to write first of a kind love letter to an unsuspecting spouse, maybe. So that's something that we're all kind of familiar with. At the same time, ChatGPT can do summaries, analysis, tables, content, can help you get creative and generate good content. What it cannot do is scour the internet. It cannot search the internet and give you answers to something current, something which occurred after Jan 2022. Copilot, which we formally branded as Bing Chat Enterprise, can do that more. So this is something which is available free of cost in your Microsoft 365 licenses. If you have an Entra ID, you can use Copilot, what we formally call as Copilot in Bing. And what you get is when you look for answers using a prompt on the internet, is not only the response, but also the citations or the references for those responses. So you get an idea of where those responses are coming from, which is important as we think about the veracity of the responses that are getting generated from these large language models. Copilot for M365, this takes it like another step further, right? So it is a new way of working altogether. It not only lets you use natural language to, prompt public data and get answers, but extend that capability to data on your own Microsoft Graph. So think about data which you store in SharePoint, OneDrive, your apps. So you can use natural language prompts, combine it with the power of large language models, data in your graph to get very contextual answers, to connect the dots around your organization's data. It'll help you get more creative in Word. It'll help you get more a better person at making PowerPoints, more analytical in Excel. So it kind of democratized that process for everyone. And it does it within the compliance boundary of Microsoft 365, right? So all the privacy, security, compliance controls that you have inbuilt with Microsoft 365, those extend to Copilot for 365. I'm excited to share today that we launched 2 new pages on our website today, Microsoft.com/nonprofits. I'm not sure how many of you have been on our pages or familiar with our grants and donations program and our offers. This is a great place to go to. And we've been kind of thinking about a couple of things, right? So how to talk about AI use cases to nonprofits, not just talk features in our stack, but also think about how nonprofits can use Copilot for M365 more meaningfully in their work. And that's what these 2 pages broadly talk about. One page is centered more around use cases, adoption guides, trainings on Big Chat Enterprise, Copilot, and Copilot for M365, so the productivity and collaboration stack. We have another page which we call as Transform Engagement, and this broadly talks about transforming the engagement with your constituents using Copilot Studio. So briefly take you through some of the content we've laid out on these pages that we launched today. So this is the page on amplify creativity and supercharge productivity. We talk here about Copilot for M365. You can reach out to our teams to learn more about it. We lay out some resources on responsible AI and how Microsoft's commitment to responsible AI. We lead with 2 use case scenarios here around creating content efficiently and securely, thinking about how you can create more personalized messages for your donors, for your volunteers, write compelling ground proposals, and even use AI capabilities to maintain like a more active social presence for your nonprofit. We also, we've built in some use cases and scenarios around being more engaged with your team meetings and connecting the dots across your organization's data. So encourage you to go and kind of get through these pages. What we're also learning is that nonprofits are looking for some more resources around how to think about adopting AI, what should the journey look like, and we've curated some resources around that here as well, and there are like a plethora of training materials available right around these technologies, and what we've tried to do with these pages is curate some of those which are most pertinent to this group. My favorite is Copilot Lab. So at the heart of everything you do with how you interact with ChatGPT, Copilot is the way you prompt. And Copilot Lab is a great way for you to think about your prompting capabilities, to augment them, to think outside the box and what can you prompt Copilot for. So that's a personal favorite that I enjoy going to and browsing for prompt ideas. Actually, I shouldn't have gone here. What I'll do is I will play a short demo that we recently created on a scenario that you may all be too familiar with, which is around a grant application process and how Copilot for M365 can kind of help do that whole process more efficiently.
The purpose of our example Megan, a development associate at Contoso, is writing a grant to support a digital literacy initiative in her community. First, Megan needs to find some external data to validate Contoso's proposal. Since she needs information outside of Contoso's own data, she asks Copilot in Bing to find relevant information on the state of digital literacy in the impacted community in Washington State. Copilot in Bing summarizes relevant statistics, providing sources for reference. When our development associate has follow-up questions, she can ask Copilot to refine the response and even change the tone of the response to meet her needs. These answers are just the starting point. Megan uses the responses as a basis for her rough draft, but ensures that she crafts the final language in a way that is true to Contoso's brand voice. Now, Megan will use Copilot for Microsoft 365 to create and edit her grant proposal document. She can ask Copilot to help with tasks, such as draft a grant proposal for Contoso's Digital Empowerment Program and specify documents she wants Copilot to reference. She can drop in the external data she found on Copilot in Bing, plus she can merge it with internal data as well. Our development associate can pull in an Excel table of program metrics and ask Copilot, write an executive summary for my proposal. After Megan cleans up her draft, she can summarize it and share it with her team on email.
So yeah, that was like a short demo on what Copilot capabilities could look like, and you can use it to do various things to improve staff productivity. Here's something we are learning from nonprofits who've adopted Copilot, right? So we launched Copilot for M365, made it generally available back in November 2023. In January 2024, we made it more widely available to organizations of all sizes. And since the last few months, in speaking with nonprofits, in understanding how they're going about their adoption, there are some things that we're learning that I'd like to share here. One thing, and it was not surprising, was nonprofits who are adopting Copilot, who are the first adopters, are nonprofits who have their data in order. These are nonprofits who've thought about their data loss and prevention policies, who've thought through sensitively labeling of their data to ensure that there's no content oversharing. So these are nonprofits who are usually ready, right? Or nonprofits who are on the journey to get ready. So as you think about Copilot for M365 and rolling it out within your organization, a good question to ask is, when was your last data audit? Are you opening up yourself to content oversharing? Are all your files labeled correctly, right? So that's one thing that we are seeing from nonprofit adoption of Copilot. Another is nonprofits who are realizing more value from Copilot are the ones who are more intentional with their rollout. There are a large number of nonprofits who are buying 1 to 2 seats in Copilot, kind of just buying and seeing how it works. But true transformation and true value from Copilot comes from at least giving it to a small group of people who work together in a team, right? So think about your IT folks who work together, or your marketing or your fundraising team, so that they can learn from each other as they go on this journey, and as you think about like a wider org-wide rollout. So that's something we're learning, and also defining more clear use cases on how your nonprofit would want to benefit from Copilot. Then of course prioritizing skilling. This is a big skilling moment, a big habit building moment for everybody with AI, and creating those skilling spaces for your nonprofits would be helpful. And always asking, right, before starting a project or a task, how can AI help me do this better? Can it take the mundane out of my task so that I can focus on the creative, so that I can focus on driving my mission outcome? I'll pause here and leave you with that thought. I'll pass it on to Adnan and Melissa, who are here from our forward team for the demo.
Thank you, Aisha. Can people hear me in the back? Great. Aisha, it was great working with Microsoft over the last few months as we integrated their AI services into our products. I'm going to start off by asking a couple of questions. How many of you are familiar with case management? Raise your hands. Almost everyone. Great. How many of you would say your case managers are frustrated with the amount of work that they're doing outside of client care? Few folks. Great. So, good afternoon. My name is Adnan. I am the founder and CEO of Forward. Today marks a significant milestone for our company. It's a culmination of months of research and development as we unveil the latest in innovations in case management technology. But more than that, today is about sharing a vision of what we think is the future of case management. A future where every case manager is empowered, every client is supported, and every client session is transformative and efficient. So we've got some really, really cool demos for you coming up here, but I'm going to share with you a little bit about our company, Forward. We got started a few years back as a data company, helping local jurisdictions around America make sense of their data, use data portals and data dashboards to make data-informed decisions. Then 4 years ago, the pandemic set in, and our customers were faced with this daunting task of scaling their public assistance programs to respond to the pandemic. They reached out to us asking for help. We responded by taking our platform, expanding it, and adding capabilities that helped our customers scale their programs and make sure that the people who needed those assistance received them. So Forward became an end-to-end program administration platform where we did everything from collecting applications, reviewing those applications for fraud and eligibility, dispersing of the funds, and then compliance reporting. To date, we have disbursed over $1 billion to more than 300,000 families and small businesses in the US. So then our customers, seeing the success of these programs, reached out to us and said, hey, can we take these technologies and help our case management scenarios? So we got to work, and we spent months doing meticulous research and exploration and collaboration with experts in the field to really understand the case management challenges. Case managers are dedicated to their mission, the mission of really understanding and supporting those on the ground in their communities who need the most help. But that impactful work gets overshadowed by a lot of paperwork, a lot of note-taking, disjointed communication with their clients, and other challenges. So we asked ourselves, or we put ourselves in their shoes and said what the challenge was is, could we drastically improve the daily experiences of the case managers so that they can focus on client care and resource coordination? So that brings us to today. So today we are unveiling 3 technology breakthroughs. And for the first time, we're taking the technologies that we have developed and making it available for organizations like you. So first, we are launching a revolutionary communication center that takes all client communication and centralizes it in one place. Second, we are launching a smart assistant that improves the interactions between case managers and their clients to make sure that they get most out of their check-in sessions. And then third, we are unveiling a sophisticated planner that encourages or ensures that every client is successful with a personalized action plan and progress reports. So a revolutionary communication center, a smart assistant, and a sophisticated planner. But they're not 3 separate products. we are putting all three of those into our groundbreaking product called Forward Sync. So why do we need another case management solution? There are plenty of case management solutions in the marketplace. The problem with all these solutions is that they fail in a couple of key areas. Number one, they are really hard to navigate and use. They make simple things super, super complicated. Number two is they promise streamlined communication, but the case managers are stuck with a lot of devices and apps to juggle their applications and the messages and the emails and other interactions with their clients. Then the third thing is they lack tools to facilitate client and case manager interaction and planning, meeting planning and follow-ups. Finally, as your programs change, you need these solutions to also be customizable, but that customization is very complex and very expensive, often costing hundreds of thousands of extra dollars. So Forward Sync is not just an incremental improvement, it is leap ahead of everything that's available in the marketplace today. What we do at Forward Sync is we take customer or client care and we take client engagement and make that the core of successful case management. So I spent 5 minutes talking about Forward and what we do. I mean, you're here to see some demos, and for that, I'd like to invite Melissa, our Director of Impact, to walk you through those demos.
Thank you so much, Adnan. We are so excited today to really unveil how we can transform case management. The reality is case managers are the heroes of the community. When you need a resource, you have to talk to a case manager. You're talking to a nonprofit. You're talking to a government entity to get resources. But oftentimes, case managers have the least amount of tools. They're taking a lot of data. They're trying to input a lot of data, and they're not able to really connect with their clients like they could. So I'm going to jump into a demonstration to show you the power of our platform. All right. So when you first get into Forward Platform, this is the view as a case manager. You can see all of your clients in a snapshot. You can see all of the most pertinent information that's important for your organization around the status of a case, the last time you spoke with that case manager, and all of Forward Platform is client-based. And so I'm going to jump into Emily Thompson as our example. And when I say client-based, that means every single piece of information about a client is in one place. There's not a folder over here with Emily's documents. There's not an intake form over here with information about her application. There's not emails on this side and text messages somewhere else. Everything that you could want to know, need to know, or need to collect about Emily is stored right here in our client profile. From identity to demographics to address, we can populate this application and intake form with any information your organization may need. But I'm here today to demonstrate the power of our communication center. Some of our clients have called this our secret sauce because it really is secret sauce, like secret sauce from Chick-fil-A Polynesian. It's amazing. And so when you think about having to communicate with people, we're all using a cell phone, an email. We're communicating in so many different ways. And so what we've designed is a communication center that puts phone calls right in our platform. You never have to pick up a work phone to make a phone call. You can do it straight from this platform. You can send emails directly from the platform. And I mean, you don't have to go to Outlook. You don't have to go to Google. You can draft an email directly in our platform to your clients. The next is text messages. We realize that folks in doing work around the country for thousands of people, everybody doesn't have access to email. Everybody doesn't have a computer to do an application. A lot of people are communicating by text. And so what we've designed is a really easy way for case managers to text their clients directly from the platform. So I'm going to demonstrate this and ask our client to send a copy of their W-2. Send W-2. From the platform, you can actually attach documents. You could put links. The world is your oyster when it comes to how you can communicate with your clients through our platform. So I'm going to send this over. And within less than 30 seconds or more, we're going to have Emily respond and send a copy of her W-2 to us. And we have found this to be super, super helpful in working with diverse communities across the country. Here you can see we have a new text message. There's a notification to say you have a new message. and you can actually view the document that that Emily sent. And so it's not just a communication center, but every single piece of communication with Emily is stored chronologically in this section of our communication center. So you don't have to look for a text. You don't have to look for an email. Everything you need to know about Emily and every communication that's happened with her is here. And so if our communication center is the secret sauce, what we've designed under sessions is really, really powerful. And so a lot of case managers are on the phone with their clients. When you're on the phone with the client, or when we're on the phone with anybody during work, it's really tough to keep notes, to understand what's happening, and to be present for that phone call, but also keep track of the information that you're discussing with your client. So our smart assistant that's powered by AI is what powers up our session. So for the sake of time, we're going to act like we had an intake call with Emily for about 20 minutes. And so from that intake call, summary of the phone call that you just had with Emily. And if you scroll down here, our summary provides high-level information, her name, her age, but then it also creates an action plan or checklist. And so this summary, you can use it to make reports, to maybe share with other clients or colleagues that are working with Emily. But not just that, you can take that summary and send a direct follow-up email. So imagine getting off the phone with Emily for 15 minutes. She has given you all of her issues and concerns. In less than a minute after that call, you can send Emily a follow-up message to say, I hear you, I see you, and I was paying attention. Here's what I know about you, and here's the action plan that we have set for you, whether that's looking for workforce development opportunities, whether that's applying for SNAP or TANF, whatever your nonprofit program is being offered, it could be right there in 1 minute. And so the third thing that we want to demonstrate to you today is what we call our sophisticated planner. So we had a phone call, we recorded it, we sent an update message, we sent a text message, everything is there. Now we're going to go into Laura Martinez. Laura Martinez is a client that we've been working with for a few months, as an example. And so our smart assistant works with our sophisticated planner to not just record information and record phone calls, but it synthesizes the data that's collected in your phone call to help track progress of your clients. And so our sophisticated planner, again, this is Laura's profile. All of her communication is in this one screen. All of her intake information and important documents are here. And next is our sophisticated planner. So it takes all of the information from your recorded sessions, and let's use workforce development as an example. In the first session, she said, hey, I don't have a job. I'm looking for a job. In the second session, she said, I actually applied for a job and I'm waiting to hear back. And in the third conversation you've had with Laura, she says, I got the job. Our sophisticated planner can take all of those you don't have to spend tedious time working out a case plan. This can be set for goals. This can also be set for tasks if you want to track a task. But just from the recording from a session, it intuitively will update this information every time you have a new session call. The second is income and expenses. Who loves telling people what they spend their money on and how much money they have left? I know it's not the best part of life for me, of being an adult. And just imagine when you're working with folks from the community, it's as tedious and as difficult. Just from a phone call, we can record income and expenses. If you just ask Laura, how much are you paying for rent? How much are your utilities? This is critically important for case managers who need to quickly determine eligibility for their clients. Some programs you have to make under a certain amount to qualify for, and in just a recorded session, it can populate and calculate what Laura's income is, net income, so that you can ensure that you sign her up for the right programs. The third piece, and I'm going to close up soon, is needs and goals. From sessions within the platform, again, this is not by using an add-in, having to add a widget, a plugin, all within this platform. Our sessions and our sophisticated planner is able to identify the top needs for Laura. It's also able to identify goals that you and Laura set together. So what are long-term goals, short-term goals, and what is the ultimate goal for Laura for the time that she's working with you at the nonprofit? The last piece, which I think is like really the icing on top, is a recap of our session summaries. The worst thing I think for anybody is to be in a state of emergency or crisis and you call somebody, you're asking for help, and then you call them back and they don't even remember what you told them. That's the worst feeling ever to have. But within the Forward platform, we're able to keep summaries, high-level summaries of every single session that you recorded with Laura. So here we have 3 or 4 sessions. But what makes this really special and what makes this really convenient for case managers is not only can you see the summary of the sessions, but you can communicate with her directly within the same window. So if you're looking at your last session and that session note that you never had to write or come up with said, hey, you need to send her a snap link, or you need to send a document, or she needs to send you something, you can recall the messages while you're on the phone with her. You can recall the message in the status of her case while you're sending or reviewing a text message from her. And so we are really, really excited to put this into the marketplace. We're really excited to power up case managers because we know their work is hard. And we're really excited to make AI easy. As you all saw, everything was just with a click of a button. I didn't need to use any third-party programs to do this. And we know when case managers are empowered to do the work, communities move forward, people move forward. And so we hope you all will join us at our booth. We have Starbucks gift cards. Get you a cup of coffee. We would love to get your information. If you all use this, if you have nonprofit partners that you think this will be beneficial for, we're really excited to share this with you all. And that is the conclusion of our demonstration today. Thank you so much.
So we spend months doing meticulous research and collaborations with field experts to really understand the challenges for case managers in the field. And what we found is that case managers are dedicated to their mission to really understand, deeply understand, and support those in the community that are most in need. And what we found was that this important pivotal work gets overshadowed by a lot of paperwork, by disjointed communication between the case managers and the clients, by a lot of note-taking, and a bunch of other challenges. So we set out with this challenge. We asked ourselves, like, can we really drastically improve the daily experiences for the case managers so that they can focus more on the transformative, critical client care that they're so dedicated to doing? So we set out with this challenge, and after months of research development, we were able to come up with these new enhancements and features for Forward Sync. I believe AI will have a transformative influence on how case management is done. Again, case managers are really, really good and are committed to being focused on the client care, but they're taken away to do other things. Over half of a case manager's time is spent on low-value repetitive admin work. We think AI can really help reduce the amount of time they spend on this kind of task so they can focus more on the client care. So I believe that we're going to see a lot more really interesting AI applications come up that significantly reduces the amount of time for case managers spending on non-critical client care work.
I think some of the biggest challenges with AI today is everything is exploding all at once. We have a bunch of different products to work with. We had to figure out which product was actually going to be mature enough and hit the market. But we also needed to find out, how do we train this model? How do we decide how to not compromise information and security? How do we make sure that we don't cross-pollinate one case with another? And how do we know we have enough data to make accurate and good assessments? I think a lot of that was thousands and thousands of prompts and 100 hours of working with the system, building the APIs, and basically building our proof of concept that was actually something that we were proud of. And I think we've achieved that. I'd say the most exciting thing for me is to watch the transformation of people that are probably tired, have a heavy caseload, have reduced budgets for what they're doing. It becomes tedious when there's a lot of additional work and additional access, and it's Friday afternoon and you've seen 6 clients and you've summarized, you've sent your emails. Wouldn't it have been nice to just have a personal assistant that was listening into your calls, answering the questions that you have, being your memory for you and organizing your information, and taking care of the details so you can focus on the client interaction? I think that's really it.